Y'all look at Trump.
In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families, some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms.
And this is the exact reason why the speed of change in leadership is imperative. It's critical. What we've seen over the past 4 years is leadership doing nothing. Anytime there's strong leadership, you see immediate change. See, when things are left unaddressed, things typically drift to the left. See, it's always a slow fade when things start to go wrong or if things aren't addressed. That is what was happening in the prior administration. Everything was always, oh, well, we'll look into it. Even when Kamala was running and she was saying, oh, we'll look into reparations. I'll look into that. It was never a definite, this is what I'm going to do. Because anytime something is addressed, it requires a shift. And a shift is uncomfortable. And a shift, there may be some casualties. I'm seeing where people are now being put on leave that worked in the government, that worked for the IRS, and these different agencies that they created during their administration. Even the whole DEI hire crap, they're shutting that down as well. You know what? Because it just wasted money. It wasted your money to go to all these training classes for what? To teach somebody to not discriminate? That's not what they did. They taught you to hire based on someone being different than being white. That was the whole goal. If they're not white, if it's not a white man or a white woman, they're different. You need to focus on hiring them, figure out a way to hire them. And you've seen what that has caused. Even out there in California, those fires, they're over there talking about DEI and getting more gay and lesbian in there. Why do you care? Get somebody that's going to go out there and put out the freaking fire. I don't care what they look like. Why should I care about what they do behind closed doors? Because that's really what this is all about. Why do I need to know what you do behind closed doors? Because that's where it should take place anyway. I don't have to come out the closet. And I just need you, can you put a fire out? That's what's important to me for this position. Shift is uncomfortable to most people that aren't used to strong leadership. If you ask anybody that had a strong male figure in their life, they'll be like, oh, my daddy didn't let me do this. My dad didn't let me do that. It's so common to them. They're just like, why y'all upset? Obviously, they're going to be casualties in this change. And that's the problem with the prior administration. All they did was ride the fence about everything. Oh, we're going to dress it up. Oh, yeah, that is important. That's why those prisoners were still left up in there for 4 years. I just found out this morning that over 5 of them they ended their life.
5 people have committed suicide because they could not endure the brutality of what Joe Biden's Department of Justice has done. For them, justice is coming too late.
Hopefully when this freedom of speech thing come back, I can say exactly what they did, because it's important to use the correct language because it makes an impact. It lets you know how serious it was for someone to go be in prison for that long and take their own life, not knowing that redemption was just 4 years later. I know they suffered long. And that's the problem again with riding the fence. Because when you ride first of all, God don't own the fence. Satan owned the fence, baby. So if you riding the fence on any kind of topic or issue, Satan owned that mug. And you riding it with him. God is on one side. Satan is the fence and the other side. He both. Even when it comes down to Biden giving everybody a preemptive pardon, means that I could have did something wrong, because when they asked Biden, are you going to pardon yourself? He said, well, I haven't done anything wrong. So that is assuming that you know that they could have, or they did do something wrong, like Anthony. We know Anthony. He got a preemptive pardon. And the reason why it's so frustrating to us is because we don't like when the bad guys get away. We hate it. Even when we watch a movie and the bad guys get away at the end, we be so mad. We're like, I ain't watching that. Don't watch that movie. It makes you upset because our very nature is the nature of God to want justice. You see how Trump and his family, Melania and all of them were looking. They were like, y'all, you on that BS. But maybe it was something ceremonial. Maybe it's something he had to attend. Maybe it's something that, every president that get put in office have to go to this cathedral moment or whatever. But they had her up there, and you can just look and tell what side she on. You can tell she on the liberal side. And I'm surprised. I thank God for Trump and JD for keeping it together, because it's frustrating, because it's like, we obviously don't serve the same God. You know that. This is a synagogue, all right, but it ain't the synagogue of the Most High God. It's the synagogue of somebody else. It's okay for changes to be made. Again, it's going to be a shift. It's going to hurt some people, but it is much needed if we want any kind of positive change in this country moving forward.